All right, cool. We are back here. It
Yes,
is
sir.
the 3rd of April, and I just saw yesterday the TBPN announced their acquisition. So OpenAI acquired the pod. I feel like we've talked about this in the past. Steve, do you watch them at all? Like, have you
Dude, I've
followed along
never
with their
even
content?
heard of them.
That's amazing.
I'm like, who? What the fuck is going on?
That's amazing.
Like, so what are they? Yeah, give me the rundown, man.
Let
Explain it
me
to me like I'm a ding dong.
let me just share this real quick because I think this will give a little bit of context here. It's so funny because I've chatted with a couple people like I've never heard of them, but honestly, I've been a big fan for a while now. All right, can you see my screen? All right, cool. So yeah, this is their brand right here, like TBPN, um, and it's these two guys, John and Jordy,
Okay.
um, and I mean this one gives like a pretty good understanding of it. But they launched this podcast October 24, so that's a year and a half, and I don't know if this is confirmed it was acquired for $100 million or not, but I've seen this from a bunch of different outlets that they were acquired for $100 million by OpenAI. And they just mentioned like their first year they did like, or last year they did 5 million in revenue. This year they were on pace to do 15 mil. Apparently they have editorial independence within this deal here moving forward with OpenAI. And it sounds like it's going to be the same show, the same setup, the same content, except they've just removed all branding and all ads. So like OpenAI completely owns this. There's going to be no ads anymore.
So what? Sorry, the jump. Like, what do they cover?
So these are these two dudes here, John and Jordy. So John Coogan, Jordy Hayes, and give you like a kind of preview. Like so, you could see here on the screen. Like I won't play this.
Yeah,
I guess maybe you could hear this, but you see how they have like this bottom bar scroll,
yeah.
this thing's going. So basically, they go live multiple times a week across. I know they go live on Twitter, and I think they go live on like YouTube and a couple other platforms. I just know Twitter for sure.
Sure.
And they go live multiple times a week. It's a 3 hour long show, and basically they try to kind of replicate like a old time like sports center where like you'd have like a bunch of stuff like scrolling on and like the like the continuous like scroll features.
Okay.
So they'll have like stock prices and shit like that and a bunch of like their sponsors and stuff like that. Basically it's a business and tech show, so like they will cover like daily topics and anything business, anything investing, anything tech wise. Sam Altman actually stated that it was their favorite. This gives you like a little better view of what it looks like. He stated that it was his favorite podcast that he currently like listens to and follows, and his favorite like tech show just in general there. But they just have like this little studio setup. They go live every single day, and then they have guests continuously join the show. Like they'll have like 10 guests every single day or something like that. And they'll tweet out each day like, "Here's our lineup, like here's our guest segment and everything." Um,
How does it like compare to like the topics they cover in the All In podcast?
Similar, but more business. Like they don't get into politics. They don't get into like
Okay.
foreign and domestic policy and stuff like that. So they'll tweet like, "Hey, happy Thursday on today's show." Like, I mean, dude, they got like heavy hitters. Like Mark Lohr's like one of the
So it's like
best
all the
best
Silicon Valley guys coming in,
big
right?
Silicon Valley folks. Exactly, 100.
Huh.
percent So this dude here too as well, David Senra. Um, he has a really good podcast as well. I just want to show this, and then I have a couple other things that I want to mention here as
Yeah, I
well.
know.
But he said, "Oh, this was the one that I thought was pretty interesting." He said that TV. So this dude Luke Martin tweeted this out, that OpenAI acquired it for $100 million, and he said TBPN shares the best piece of advice they ever got, which led them to being acquired by OpenAI for $100 million. And this was from David Senra. He was our very first listener. We sent him a link and a Google Drive. From the first episode, he said, "Take this 100 times more seriously than you are right now." And we did. I thought that was such a simple piece of feedback, but really cool. Like, I thought, I don't know. I just think, like, just in general in life there, like, it's pretty easy sometimes to kind of like act like you don't really care or you're like not really trying or something. So to hear somebody be like, you know what, take this like way more seriously, and then see like the output of what this eventually turned into. I don't know. I thought that was kind of a cool piece of feedback there.
Interesting. I'll have to give it a listen. Um, and see a daily podcast interesting. I think the most daily podcast that I somewhat listen to, not always, but segments, is Breaking Points, which is more news related. They do a
Great stuff. Breaking
fantastic
Points is
job.
awesome.
But I'm so like, why is OpenAI acquiring them? And I don't know, like it doesn't make me feel like it makes me feel like a little weird. Like if these guys are shelling out like tech news and like Altman is your daddy now, like
No doubt.
I don't know, man. Like good for them. Like awesome, build it up, sell it out, great. But I don't know. That makes me feel a little like there's some cognitive something smart word in there. I don't know. It feels weird.
I think so I definitely have a couple thoughts here, but I think like first off that was sick that they did that. They both had a couple different previous companies as well, and I think they had a couple exits prior. I think they had like I think they did, like I don't even know what you call it. Like like Zyn, like pouches,
Okay.
I think they had like a nootropic focus pouch where it wasn't like it might have been nicotine, but it was like a focus based one. I
Okay.
could be completely wrong, but I know for a fact they had a couple different companies prior to this. And then I forget if it was John or Jordy or both, went through YC when Sam Altman was running YC and he was like president of YC at the time. So they had a connection to Sam through YC already in place. And then apparently, like, this was one of his favorite shows. The other thing that I think is really interesting that they did that I think other podcasts could probably follow and other like, people like creating content that I hadn't really seen before is they would clip their show. Like they would have, so they have 10, 15 people joined, maybe not that many, but per day there. And they're covering all these different topics. So then I think to help grow their show and just, the brand in general, they would have clips on Twitter. So it'd be like Steve's talking about this Google AI update. And it would be maybe like a 90-second clip of like whatever you're talking about. And then at the end of the clip, they would put in an ad read, which I hadn't seen before. Usually it's like long form, but I thought that was pretty interesting. So like they like really figured out how to like monetize their content. So like they would have a clip that they know is going to get 50,000 views on Twitter. Somebody would buy some ads within that. Like at the end, they would do like an ad read. I
It's a
thought that was really,
short form. Yeah, interesting.
really interesting. But the other thing that I'll say to your point about this is I think this is probably the future for all brands is buying media entities. Like for example, My First Million, I've listened to that podcast for years now. HubSpot acquired that like 3 years ago. So like they still do the same exact show. It's the same exact format. It's the same exact content, except all of their ad reads now are HubSpot ads, and they always have like the co-founder Dharmesh on the show, and they do a bunch. And there's a ton of different funnels and different content that they built out through that. I forget who acquired Morning Brew, but I want to say it was another just like random tech company. Um, but all this to say, I think, and I feel like we've talked about this before, having a presence online and a large following, like posting content on LinkedIn and developing a following, or having a podcast that gets a ton of views and stuff like that, you can get such a loyal fan base and such a loyal following and a ton of reach that if you then start acquiring those assets, you could just immediately push your brand to that audience all like 24/7, and you have touch points with those listeners. So I feel like it's almost like a customer acquisition, customer loyalty play for like a lot of these tech brands. It's not like, hey, let's control the narrative here. Maybe it is a little bit for sure, but I think it's more so of like
We're
it's
your
so
permanent
valuable.
advertiser.
Exactly.
Huh.
Exactly.
Huh. I mean, I'm sure that you're acquiring them to. I don't know, man. It feels a little strange. Like as a loyal listener, would it throw me off on what's topics are, etc.? I'm just not sure. But
I
that's
think
cool
people are
though.
just going to forget at a certain
They don't
point.
care. Yeah, they're just all about the content that's coming across. Yeah.
100%. And you
Okay.
got to think it's not an easy thing to break through to get a following. It's just not.
Well, I'm sure those guys had a pretty big some following before that, and then they went into
Oh, no doubt.
so they had some initial inertia, you could say. Um, I yeah, for sure. I mean, regardless, it's still very difficult to do. Like that's awesome, dude. That's really cool to do something every day and do it well and get proceeds from it all and kind of on the next chapter. That's always it's awesome to see success in that sense. Um, I don't know. I just trust Sam Altman less and less these days. So,
Dude, I don't trust that guy at all. And Steve, I literally said this like 3 years ago on this podcast. I'm like, dude, the smell test, there's something that's not right with this guy. I don't trust him at all.
yeah,
Honestly, why I don't use ChatGPT and like support the business because I don't trust the guy whatsoever. And like, whatever it is, like, who am I? But like, I honestly, why I just like don't use the product anymore because I just don't, I don't know, terrible vibes from that guy.
yeah, I do. I don't know. I do want to test out some of the LLMs for more of the company related stuff, and like we could easily go to Gemini if they could do projects. Like we would be all in. Like I'm pretty sure we would. We'd move off of ChatGPT.
I don't know why they don't do that.
But we have inherited data on certain things, but we can load everything up and train the model. It's just going to take a week or so to get everything set,
No
and then you're
doubt.
good. So we'll see, but yeah,
The
yeah,
other thing too that I'm thinking about that we chat about from time to time is like, um, I sent you the YouTube channel for the guys who run Minted, the clothing brand out of New York
yeah,
City,
yeah.
and then they also do some sports supplements. Like they're really big runners, and like train really hard for like half marathons, and like shorter races and stuff. So then he like the initial founder Marcus basically like started posting content on TikTok, then turned into a clothing brand and a lifestyle brand, then started posting on YouTube and has like a whole behind the scenes look of YouTube. Like I would support that brand because I really respect their training. I love the content they put out. BPN, Nick Bear, I've supported like that brand for years now. Ross McKay of Cadence, I support that brand because I like the content that he puts out and like provides some value. All of that to say, like I feel like that is such a valuable thing in today's day and age. Like if you could have a personal brand and consistent content, you could push product and you could push services through that. So I think this TBPN is kind of like another example of that from an OpenAI perspective. I'm curious how they're going to monetize it and like what they're going to do outside of just like having OpenAI and like ChatGPT branding on their content moving forward. But I'm assuming there's going to be some type of like other content that they're going to produce that then has like a like a lead magnet, like a funnel into ChatGPT and OpenAI. They're probably also going to consult them on like their own like go to market within marketing because clearly they know what they're doing. But I think we're going to see a lot more brands purchase other like podcast brands and media outlets and all of those things.
Yeah, there's so much content out there like available, like to choose from that it's like, dude, I've never even heard of these guys. And like,
It's amazing.
it's like I don't know, like I'm not it's like my head's not like buried in the sand or anything like that. Um there's a point where it's like there's so much content, there's only so much time in the day to listen to.
100%.
But I completely agree, though. If like you're selling a physical product, I think mostly a physical product. We could talk about virtual product, even us. Like having podcasts and content that's genuine and that tells a story behind a brand, like dude, that connects more than anything. And I think it's kind of an evolution of like of just the ability to produce different types of content. Like, yeah, you could used to do social media posts and like, oh, I've got kind of cool Instagram, But then as videos really taken over, it's like, oh, give more video content and then more longer form content to attach to a brand. I think it's super smart to do because it creates that loyalty, that kind of behind the scenes, that insider feel. And you're like, oh, I feel really good actually purchasing this product itself. I don't know if that applies to online services like what we do. Like, for example, what the hell are we doing here, right? In this podcast, I do think, it has, I have
How
had him
so?
mention before. Well, I don't know if, because we're just selling services, right? Like, and like, I guess could add credibility. If someone's listening to this podcast and they're thinking, oh, do I want to work with Collective 42 or Trevor and, in his consultancy work? And I think it could add some credibility for it all, but um, I don't know if it's just. I feel like it's a little bit different when it's like direct to consumer and it's like B2B. I guess maybe is my point.
I see that. I don't know. I kind of disagree. I feel like um, I know it's like, it's always tough to like know for sure if, people are like putting out bullshit or not, like with their agency sizes. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking of like a couple people on LinkedIn that consistently post text, like just general like text posts themselves, but like video content them as well, and like post a ton of content, and a couple people on Twitter as well that would just post about like Google Ads updates or like B2B go to market or SEO updates and stuff, and get a ton of engagement and reach and following on those platforms, and then have massive agency businesses. It's like if somebody's posting a ton of content about SEO and how they're optimizing sites and like driving results for clients, I would assume that's going to lead to more referral business. It's just one of those things that you got to be like super committed with. It's one thing to do a podcast, but then it's another thing to like
Also,
do a
your
podcast
content.
and then clip it and then post on your social and my social, post on Twitter, post on Instagram, post on LinkedIn, then have written form of content. Like you really need to, you really have to commit to like a full like
Like
content
media
machine.
blitz.
No doubt about it. So I think it would work either way, like either services or like consumer focused. It's just it's just a mofo. You know what I mean? Like we could speak to that all day. It's like you get a shit ton of client work that you're doing. You're trying to build your business. You're trying to like have quality work to then also produce like the media component to it and the content component. Just a lot. It's like a whole nother
Yeah, I
focus.
guess I've seen sometimes, and maybe I'm jaded by it, and I gotta not be so biased or whatever.
No
That we're like some of these people that are just producing content all day long, they're actually not doing work.
doubt.
Actually like the work itself. So it's like they kind of get more into this guru feel, like consultant, etc. And dude, maybe it works out great for them and whatnot. Um,
That
yeah,
just made me think of Gary Vee. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Gary Vee's ever getting into meta ads and like uploading ad creative and
not
like,
anymore.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, I don't think he's doing any of that. I think his whole thing is content and like just building the brand to get inbound. And then his team does that, you know?
yeah,
Like that's honestly what I was thinking.
yeah,
It's just a whole focus. It's just like a whole, and that's the other thing, Steve. I feel like you could probably relate to that. It's like I don't even know if I would want this podcast to go super viral and like people
yeah.
know me.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? It's like
Dude,
it's
no,
like
thank
I
you.
don't even know if I'd want that. Like just even posting on LinkedIn and like the cringy feeling you get sometimes from just posting is
Yep.
dude, I don't even know if I would want that. Like I don't, it's a
Dude,
tough one.
it's one of those things where for sure I would no. I'm good. I've had like small slivers of it, and it's like, dude, I don't like do the amount of negative comments that happens. Uh, it's way too much of a mind fuck to where it's like, nah, dude, I'm good. I'm just trying to catch up with Trevor every week and have a conversation.
Exactly.
Because yeah, dude, it's just too much, And if a client or potential client sees this and say, oh, these guys are actually real legitimate people, and they see we're doing a podcast, okay, cool, and that helps close one or two deals a year.
Sick.
That's fine with me. But like I've always said, I like catching up with you because dude, these are calls and conversations that I have like with Ricardo on a weekly basis. A lot of it's about company stuff, but like
Yeah.
we'll just catch up. And it's like, dude, why not just record it, put it out there? Ours is a little bit more intentional as far as trying to put some good information out there of what's going on and just goodwill. It's like cool if we got a couple like cool sponsors like or something like yeah, all right, cool. But like the blow up, I'm like, dude, and this becomes like your full time job. I would be like, I don't think I'd be grounded in like actually doing work and stuff, and it would just become disgenuine in a
Oh,
way.
without question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's like such a catch 22
There's
that
so
I
much other things in life than like I don't know, like I'm only doing this so I can make some money just so I can go do other things that are non-digital. Like
I
that's
was
my
literally
point.
just gonna say the same thing.
Like
It's
I don't
literally
want to
just gonna
live on
say
a computer. I don't want to be in front of a computer. Like I don't play video games in front of a computers anymore because I'm like, this is my computer time. The only time I'm on a computer is when I'm working.
yeah,
That's it. Otherwise, dude, I'm like, nope, I'm good. Like I like to do other things. It's just there's so much more enjoyment and reward that I get away from the digital world.
exactly.
Um,
And the thought of like being on all the time and like constantly looking at Twitter to be like, what thread can I write? What comment can I drop? LinkedIn, what other comment can
dude,
I drop? And all
that's a
that. It's like
lot.
that there's 0% of me that I'm like, I'm excited about that. And like, that's what I want to do. I'm right there with you. I'm like, I want to build this agency as large as possible to generate as much income as possible. So like I could just like work out more. So I could spend more time with my family. So like we could do
Yeah.
trips. So we
Yeah.
could golf. So we could, go out in nature and like walk a trail. Not so I
Not just
could
to do the rat race. Yeah.
no, not at all.
It's a big point, man. I think it's perspective that's helpful.
Without question.
Wild. So, what other news
Um,
topics do we got? I want to touch base on. I know there's a little bit of delay in our feed here.
I know. I was going to say that just got a little delayed. Can you? I think we're back.
Okay.
I think we're back here. Um, I don't know if there's any other huge hitter stories to touch on
Did
here.
you
I
see
don't know if
actually
you have
any
any
April
notes.
Fool's stuff come across?
Yeah, I saw a couple. I don't know if there's
So
anything worth calling out.
there's one. There's two I'll call out. One is digital, and one's like locally. So digitally, a guy I follow, David Quaid. He's an old school SEO guy. He pulled a funny ass screenshot of basically an announcement from Google saying, evolving how the world searches. Goodbye to the search bar. Hello, Google AI, and basically saying, hey, there's no more search results. We're going full in on AI. Uh, and like the search result page, I was like, oh, that's good.
That's a good one because
That's
that's like pretty believable, actually.
Yeah, it's somewhat believable. And then the other one is there's a local restaurant pub down the street from us, and they kind of have two sections to they have like their bar restaurant area, and then there's right next door. They bought the building out next door a couple years ago, and they put like a kids arcade in there pretty much. So like the adults can play games if they want, but it's like, dude, throw your kids in there, and you guys go gonna have drinks and chill and relax. It's awesome setup. It's called the Hills. Anyways, they spent the time, I think overnight, they painted that side of the building, again, it's on a main strip, to look like an old fucking Blockbuster. Like they literally like painted the outside like all white, and they put the big Blockbuster logo up there in paint, and they put like a sign that's like "Be kind, rewind." Uh, I thought it was like, dude, why not, dude? That's great.
That's fire.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll paint over it, or have to paint over it, but it was good, dude. Some people were like, "Did what? Blockbuster's coming back?" Like what? Yeah, it was pretty rad.
That's sick. I love that. I love the
Yeah,
humor there.
I saw some comments that were like, "Why would you spend the time to do that?" It's like, dude, it was like 12 hours and a couple buckets of paint, for the marketing ploy. That's pretty good deal.
Plus, too, that could have went like a little viral there and like got some more business
It
with it.
definitely did for like the community for
Build the
sure.
brand a bit.
Yeah, yeah, I thought it was great.
You know what? Like that also makes me think of is like I feel like if you were to open a Blockbuster somewhere, like it would probably crush because I feel like people would just be like, "How is this even a thing?" Like just so interested to go and check it out. I don't know what you would sell because like nobody has like
So there
VCR
is
DVD
one
players.
left.
I think there's one left.
So I've been there. I went there a couple years ago. I had some family that live up in the town. It's in Bend, Oregon. Super hipster, cool town. Um, and dude, it's legitimately like the last one. They franchise it out, so they have all the branding, etc. But like, they literally have like museum items of like, this is what a living room looked like in the '90s. But they do rentals though, like all DVD rentals. They do some video game rentals. Like it is legitimately like an old school Blockbuster that you can
So
still get
sick.
get stuff to come through. And there's a lot more of that cult classic of like what movies to watch, etc. It's like a movie enthusiast, and like a lot of cool like museum pieces of like like you would see at like a I don't know, like what was it, Planet Hollywood. They would do that. They've got like certain items from a set or something like that. They have it in there, and you can buy like merch, but it's more of like a like, oh, this is weird, let's go check it out. And next door is like a build your own pizza take home place, so it's kind of a cool feeling. But yeah, I think you're right. If they had opened up a couple in a select like satellite spots,
I would check it out. Be like, what is going on here? Like
you
this
know
is
you would. Like, dude, you put it like in a couple of those key spots, like people are craving for that nostalgia of the '90s. Especially like even my kids' generation, dude. The way that they dress, the way that their music, their instrument, it's like shit when I was growing up. It's
no
weird.
doubt.
I'm like, whoa, okay. They always say it kind of comes back. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. I'm like, this is weird.
I also heard that that iPads or iPods are making a comeback with youth as well, who like trying to like spend less time on phones. So like you
Hmm.
have an iPod where you can't like really do anything other than just like listen to music, which I thought was pretty sick. But I'm like, I feel like you could create a Blockbuster type store with the branding, and I don't like probably could still sell some like DVDs and like museum type vibe or something like that, and like that in person experience, just to like switch it up and like do something. I guarantee like sell candy, like whatever. I guarantee
Yeah.
like you could somebody could like figure that out.
Dude, there was nothing more exciting than going to was Blockbuster Video or Hollywood Video. That's what we had.
Hollywood
And
Video is pretty
and
sick too.
on a Friday, it was like, all right, get the movie if you can, and then like a video game. That was the best because you're like, I don't know if I can beat this video game this weekend. And some of the games were so freaking hard that I was like, dude, I only got past like the third level, man. I was like, this game is crazy.
And it was so cool just to
Got
see
to
like what
return it
your
on Monday or Sunday, and it was like, all
it's the
right,
best.
yeah.
Simpler times there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we were living great times. There's so many cool things. There's a lot of crazy shit going on too with it all.
No doubt.
But yeah, man, dude, it helps me mentally just to get outside and be grounded in nature. Like I just started up my garden again, for the
So
spring,
pumped for this
summertime.
weather to
So
do that. Oh my god.
yeah,
Dude,
because you guys are kind of waiting to. You have to wait because it's still
we're
cold
kind
as
of
shit.
there. We're getting closer. But yeah, it's like it's not there yet. Like
So this
yesterday
will
was
be
like
your
45.
first turnaround to possibly do a garden at your house.
I think so. I think we're gonna try and make it happen this year.
Yeah, just keep it simple. Do a couple things that you'll actually eat, and
Yeah.
then if you get hooked on it, then you go down the rabbit hole.
And build it
Uh,
out. Yeah. We
yeah,
planted trees last year. We have like a perimeter of trees. So we're gonna like try and like plant some more stuff and then maybe like a little garden there as well.
and do some like raised garden beds. They're easy enough. And yeah, just do simple things that you know you would eat, and it's fun to
I
just put your hand in some soil.
That also, oh, no doubt. That also makes me think about like running outside. I know you've been doing that. I wanted to, and I also have an actual like a topic here as well,
Okay.
that relates to like fitness and stuff. What are your thoughts? Because I love running outside because it's great, like you're getting fresh air and stuff. But it's like um, almost like significantly harder than on a treadmill. Me, like with especially like I don't know, I feel like we live in a windy area, but like you're running against a headwind that could be really difficult, and then just like hills and just being outdoors, I almost feel like I could run forever on a treadmill. Like you get on a pace, you set that pace, and like you're just dialed in. I'm not saying I enjoy running on a treadmill more, but like I don't know, it's almost like the same for me of running outside or inside. And I don't know if I like running on a treadmill more. I feel like that's a major contrarian take, and most people would not agree with that. I'm curious, like, what your thoughts are there.
Dude, I haven't fucking run on a treadmill in fucking like 5, 10 years.
I mean, Sandy. I mean,
I mean, I live in
yeah,
San
okay.
Diego, so it's like, dude, I can go whenever. Like, if rain or shine, it's not going to be that bad. So I have that advantage. But yes, I have run on a treadmill, and you kind of get into that space. But I honestly think it's more difficult because like you're just stuck in one little fucking spot, and maybe you got your little screen, and you're looking at your video, and you're like, just it's like torture to me. I like
That's
the
so
variety
funny.
of running outside.
I love
Uh,
it. It's the weirdest thing. I love it. I don't.
no,
I guess I'm
no,
different
I
than
do.
you.
I only think the longest I've ever run on a treadmill is maybe like 3 or 4 miles. Nothing longer than that. Like that, I don't think I could mentally stay in one spot
That's
and that
funny.
long. That seems like torture to me. And yeah, dude, outside the wind, the hills, the dodging of the cars. I have a thing that I've done for years now, where I run a lot of the same route over and over. I got to do a little bit more variety. But dude, I'll pick up nails. Anything sharp that's gonna puncture a tire, I'll take it with me.
Nice.
So I've done this
Just
for
doing
years.
a
I
civic
literally in one
duty.
year I collected a giant like jar of like all this crazy shit, dude. Like stuff like anything that would puncture a tire. I'm not gonna go pick up some random like trash when I'm running, maybe, but like anything sharp
Especially
that
good to
puncture
go.
tires. But it's fun, dude. Like you find some crazy stuff out there. I found like handcuffs, chainsaw blades. Like I found bullets. Like if you're actually like looking for it, like you will see so much stuff that you just stop, quick, pick up. I throw it in my little pouch, get home, throw them out. I got to a point where it's like I got all this random crap. I'll just just when I get it, I get home and I throw it out,
Or you could
but
just keep it in a jar and have like a little like art
I did, but
piece
it got too
hanging there.
much, dude. It got too much. Like I was like,
That's
this
amazing.
is this is stupid now. But yes, to answer your question, running outside is, and I think to me for me too is, yes, live in San Diego, great weather, etc. But it's also less of an excuse to go exercise because unless you have a treadmill at your house, you got to go visit the gym to have access to a treadmill.
Yeah,
And, it's like one more excuse to do that. That's where, like, I'm like, dude, I put on my shoes and go run. Or if I'm going to go work out, like at my house, I got some weights. And like, dude, it's like one less excuse of like, oh, I got to go drive to the gym, even if it's like a half mile away. It's like, still, I got to go drive, got to get my car, got to get in, got to get
I
out,
know.
got to do that. And it's like 15 more minutes. Like, how is that a thing? I'm like, dude, I only have so much time in the morning. It's another excuse. So I'll just go out in my garage, pull out my mats, and just fall down and get up. Burpees. That's the easiest thing you could ever do, and the worst thing you could ever do. Like, it's the
For
best thing
sure.
ever. So yeah,
I love how you're a burpee guy.
dude. Honestly, you end your workout with 50 burpees consecutively. Do that for, I mean, you do it a couple times a week. It's amazing what you'll feel like. Like it is just a great way to end the exercise because it is sucks
That's a
horribly.
beast.
It's only 50, but like consecutively, it's not fun.
That is such a beast.
Oh, who do we got here? Whoop.
So this was another thing that broke. I think on 31st, like pretty recently. Will Ahmed, I guess that's how you pronounce this. He's the founder of Whoop. They've raised
Nice.
$575 million at a $10 billion valuation, um, and it sounds like they're all on its way to an IPO. And it was fascinating because he tweets us out, and obviously like sick, dude. Like congrats, like that's awesome. Like you're building something. Like would never hate on anybody for doing that. Like that's so sick. But then I saw so many people do some of this stuff of like, let's see if there's a couple other one. Like this what blows my mind. Here's what I found. I wasn't using the data to change anything. I work out almost daily, no matter how I feel. Bad sleep, 3 kids, yada yada yada. So many. It's probably all of them. I haven't even looked through this.
Just
But I
haters.
saw so many people. No, basically, it's most people were like, "Yo, I used Whoop, and it was cool to get some data, but I didn't change anything about my life because of it, and it wasn't anything breakthrough." And like it's just it's a monthly subscription, so you got to pay like a monthly fee for the product. And everybody was like, "Dude, I have a Garmin, and it gives me all the same shit for free. Why would I pay for Whoop?" And I saw so many like large tweets that were on that topic, and I went through the same thing. I wore Whoop for a little bit. I'm like, what the data you get doesn't justify the monthly fee. It just doesn't for another thing to pay for. But I have a Garmin, and it gives me everything, and I love it, and it's completely free. Tracks my sleep, heart rate, steps, all of my runs, has it all docked out. I have a little Garmin coach training for like my runs and stuff like that. It gives you a recovery score. It gives you like all of that. So I don't know. I thought that was really interesting because I know we talk about running a fair amount, and like that's a fair amount of money to raise. And I was thinking like that's pretty interesting. I wonder like what their churn is, because I've heard that from a lot of different people, and I personally had that
Yeah,
experience.
because I mean, their competitors are going to be the Garmin series watches, and then you're going to also have Apple watches too. I mean, Apple, I think the fitness you have to pay for as far as like tracking, like a training coach stuff is different, but you get all your heart rate variabilities, tracking that over time, the data. So that's where like, I don't know, see like what does Whoop do more than Garmin
What
or
do you
Apple?
have?
So I was Apple for a long time, but I moved to nothing for a little bit. And then I just said, fuck it. I'm just going off grid and just doing my thing. But then I really like the Garmin watches. A couple of my friends have them. So yeah, I'm sitting on a Garmin for the last year and a half.
That's
And
what I thought.
I
Yeah.
love it, dude. I absolutely love it. It's got everything I need in there tracking wise. I don't use it for sleep though. That part, I think it's a bit of a psychological game. Like I don't want to wake up knowing I had a good sleep score or bad sleep score kind of thing. I mean, I think there's some great data if you're changing lifestyle stuff on it all, but it's like, I don't know. It's just one more thing to wear at night. But yeah, I absolutely love it. So I'm like, I don't have any reason to go to a Whoop. That's the thing. Like if you're using Apple or a Garmin, I don't see any reason why you would go to a Whoop.
I don't get it.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I
maybe
don't
some
know.
brand around it, like, oh, I got a Whoop, it's cool, But I see the people's point. Like, I don't need this watch to exercise. I just got to do it. Right. And if I
No
feel
doubt
better,
about it.
the analytics is fun to play with. Like, I had a Strava account for a long time. And there are some cool features I like about Strava because you can track all your runs, your patterns, etc., set up goals. But Garmin's kind of replaced
Garmin
that.
does it already. Yeah.
That
Like
they replaced that. There's a community feel on Strava, but I'm not really into that you can do as well. And so it's like, why? As long as some sources try, I just want to know what I ran in a year, and I can look at my run and like, okay, I feel like I'm getting better.
no doubt.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's interesting though. Whoop. I mean, maybe it's going to be a chip eventually, and then we're all fucked.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But I'm like, I saw that and I'm like, wow, I had the same exact experience. It felt like the same exact way.
You know what would be nice is that if because we actually have data like physical data, verifiable data, I should say, that I could give to like my life insurance company or I could give to my health insurance company. Dude, I give me a kickback somewhere for this effort. You know, like why not? Like give some sort of like kickback for actually working out and showing data that you're doing hard work to improve your physical health. I think that would be really actually really interesting. Like, I don't know, man, maybe it was like a government sponsored program. You at these X marks a year, your tax or you move down a tax bracket.
That's what I
Like,
was going to
fuck yeah,
say.
let's
I
go.
think that should be a
Why
federal
not?
thing for
Because then
taxes.
it's going to save long term on the healthcare side of things, etc. And whatever, maybe it's only 20% of the population ever qualifies for this, but it's an deductible of like $5,000 a year. I mean, I don't know if I really want to give the government my health. Well, I guess they already fucking have most of anything. There's some privacy stuff that we'd have to talk through on this, but like it
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be
yeah.
cool to be incentivized to work out that we get something back from a tax benefit perspective. I mean, you don't get me wrong. Working out, you get a lot of fucking benefits, and you got to be grateful for that. So maybe I should just shut up and be grateful about that.
No, but I totally agree. I think that would be sick. And plus, it would be a great incentive for the country because we definitely need to get people more active here. Like that would benefit everybody.
Why not? Like, yeah, because I think it's trying to benefit, like, get the people that are not active active. Like how many? If like I don't know, maybe it's like a $5,000 or whatever percentage. You do this, and it's not hard to do. Like you just get 10,000 like steps 3 times a week or something, and tier it. Like, would that motivate people to move? It would improve their mental health.
I think it absolutely would.
People are going to be motivated mostly by money, probably. But it's like, hey, then that helps them get motivated mentally, etc. I think we could all be in a better place. Like if I don't know, man. Like I think there's a couple employment people, like employers do this. There's a couple employers I think that give incentives for working out,
They do.
or
My
something
mom,
like that.
my mom used to have one, and it was I don't know how it was tracked, but it was basically if you went to the gym and like you swiped in at the gym like 20 days a month or something, like whatever, if there was like some threshold, then it would be like some type of discount or some type of kickback. So I do know some healthcare providers. I forget if it was through her employer or healthcare provider, but it was tied to like amount of times that you checked into the gym. So I'm like, that makes so much sense to do. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think we need a bit
Because you're
more
not
of
gonna be
that.
able to do it like with someone's like diet. Like that's super hard to like monitor, manage, or whatever.
That's like a
Like,
major privacy thing there too. What I mean?
yeah,
Like you'd really have to like.
yeah. But health stuff, why not? Maybe give it a. I like maybe just to check into the gym thing. Like you don't have to tell me what you did, but just tell me you went to the gym. I mean, there's so
Check
much
in.
corrupt money going on around, anyways. With especially, dude, like the shit that's coming in California, all that stuff with like the fake Medicare, our hospice companies, dude. It's
Insane.
dude. So one of the places that the guy went to, Nick Shirley went to, was like down, like maybe 3 miles away from my house. And dude, I know the area. It's a bad area. And like, sure shit, you drive by the place and you're like, how is that a child daycare center? No one's
Dude, there's
looking.
just so much of that stuff in this country right now. I wish our politicians would like that would be a top of mind focus. I
Dude,
just feel like the priorities when you hear all these politicians and everybody talk is just like overseas. It's just
we'll,
never.
we'll leave this as our last kind of talking point because I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole on this. But like,
Yeah.
man, kind of bringing it back to the agency world, like trying to get government contracts for the agency world. I've talked about this before, but like I did a taste of that. I know you've done some of that work too, or like primaries and subcontractors and like the bidding system on how to get jobs for the government to pay for. It is such a convoluted, fucked up system to actually try to want to work on behalf of government projects that you can see how this is a reality of how people are just sitting in fake bids of actually doing work for people that are that they never render those services. Like you could easily see how that gets through because it's just such a mess. Like they're archaic systems and it's so disorganized. It's unbelievable. And it's a little bit frightening, or it's just man, especially in California, we pay so much taxes that's going to this shit. I don't mind paying taxes as long as it's going to good stuff, not fraud. Like it's just really infuriating.
Gets me so worked up just to even like think about it and talk about it and stuff like that. It's just like, oh my god, it's so infuriating.
Yeah, I mean, I love that they have those programs, but like, make sure it's right programs. Like, that's like, it's not that difficult. There's just people being lazy and just letting it, not looking at it, and
Oh, no doubt about it.
getting kicked back somehow. But
No
anyways,
doubt about it.
well, we should probably wrap it.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to call it there. But yeah, I thought the TBPN was just like insane to see. They literally
Yeah,
spent
that's
like
awesome, dude.
a year and a half later, you sell for $100 million. Like, dude, that's insane.
Yeah,
That is insane. So, all right, cool. We'll call it there. And yeah, I think this was a good one.
yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, folks.
All
Got it.
right, bye.
Peace.